Oh, snap. What's up, guys? Hello, it's Kate. This is Date Fails. Woo! I'm at All Things Comedy. Oh, there's a little delay between my voice and the monitor. I love that I'm watching myself, by the way, on the monitor.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you're on the
bitch.
monitor?
I don't think you're supposed to watch yourself. I think you're supposed to look at the camera or your guest. And if you watch yourself, you're some kind of narcissist.
I'm watching myself.
You are?
That's what's going to happen, yeah.
Well, this is the thing, is that people leave comments like, you have armpit fat. Why don't you lose weight? Why don't you wear makeup? You're David Spade. Like, I get so many comments that are mean that now I'm like watching myself to try to be proper.
Yeah, I'm totally watching. You know, like I started Orange Theory Fitness.
Yeah, I want to hear about this. I don't know what this is.
It's just some bougie studio class thing.
Orange Theory is the name of the class?
Yeah, it's expensive.
Oh, I thought it was going to be,
I
thought it was going to be like you eat oranges only, like one of those diets where you only eat like grapefruit.
The people there would do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super hard.
Really? When you came in here, so he goes, by the way, let me introduce you, first of all, because I'll forget. We'll go through the whole thing. I won't. My guest is a comedian, very funny actor, host. Are you still doing your show, My Life on the...
No, that was a couple years ago.
Oh, that was so funny. He had a show like My Life on the F List, or what was it?
You were on an episode. That never got edited. Okay, that shit went down, but I probably shouldn't talk about it on here. But yes, absolutely. There's shit that went down.
All right, well, whatever. Anyway.
Whatever.
He's very funny, and you guys have to check him out. My buddy, Aiden Park.
Hello. Woo! To the camera, not to me.
Yeah, don't look at yourself.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is you came in here, and he was like, I didn't know I was going to be on camera. I should do push-ups. And you started doing...
I started doing push-ups.
Yeah, which, by the way, reminded me of... I've never told this story, but I was waiting to tell it to you till we were on.
Okay.
When I first moved to LA, this was like 2006, I was doing extra work, right?
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Everybody does extra work.
Yeah.
I've done extra work.
That's what you do. People, by the way, like think being an extra on a movie is so exciting if you've never done it. Like people are like, oh my God, you got to be an extra in like Fight Club or whatever. Then you go be an extra and you realize they treat you like a herd of cattle.
Were you non-union?
Well, I've done both.
Okay, but at first you were non-union, right?
At first I was non-union.
Awful.
It's so
the
weird,
worst.
right? It's weird being a non-union extra because you guys don't understand. If you're in the union, they have separate food for you. Like there's 2 snack tables. It's called craft services, okay? Non-union snacks are like bar nuts, pretzels, rotten apples. It's like the leftovers from the union table when it starts to go bad, like the sour milk, like they send it over there. And then if you're union...
It's like a gourmet spread.
It's like sushi.
Ah.
Even the lines at lunch, they're like, you walk in, they go, are you union or non-union? And if you're non-union, they're like, over there, and you go get in this separate line. It's like a prison
box, like literally like a prison box of like
hot dogs.
Yeah,
it's like hospital food.
Hospital food.
Yeah. So when I first started doing extra work, though, the way you get it, and it's very easy. If anyone in LA, it pays shit. It pays minimum wage when you're non-union.
It's $12 an hour now, though, minimum wage, I think.
Yeah, and you usually do work a really long day. So you make like $100, even if you're non-union. You make at least $100, which, you know, if you have no other income, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's free food. Like I used to steal.
Oh, I used to steal. Yeah, for sure.
That's why you
so
do
many
it.
fruit snacks. So many fruit snacks.
Oh my God, I would take, because when you're non-union, they also don't provide your wardrobe. So,
that's right. That's right.
So they go bring 3 or 4 options. So I would take like a little suitcase, and I would only bring one option, and then I would fill my suitcase with like Diet Cokes and waters and like snacks. Like I would steal food. I would flirt with the SAG union extras and be like, "Can you steal me some of that steak?"
You would. I
would. But what I was going to say is the way you get the work is you go to this office. It's called Central Casting. And you basically just get like a mugshot taken, and then you fill out a form, and then you call in every day and you go, I'm available.
You didn't join the call-in service? I just joined the call-in service, like extras management or whatever.
Well, eventually there's other things you can do. Like if you really want to be a full-time extra, you can have like a service that calls in for you. So you would have to call in every morning and listen to the jobs that are open for that day. Like they would go, today we need extras on blah, blah, The Office, this show, that show. And then it'd be like, press 9 if you fit the description for The Office or whatever. I forget how the fuck it worked. The point is, when I went to Central Casting, the first time I'm waiting in line to have my photo taken, and there's a guy in front of me, I'll never forget. and he had brought resistance bands, and he was standing in line, and he was doing bicep curls with his resistance bands. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh, I want to be jacked when they take my photo."
Of course you do.
What?
Of course you do.
It doesn't even matter.
Yes, it does. Look, listen. I work out, right? I work out. But like, if you're okay, like when you exhaust your muscles, you look plump. Like your muscles look plump.
But it's to be an extra. You're like one in a sea of 500 people.
Well,
like, behind
to be an
a
extra,
car
I don't know.
crash.
But for Kate Quigley's podcast, I better be jacked. You know what I mean? I look a little skinny, but like, look at that. Ah!
I mean,
Ah!
okay. Well,
I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm looking at me. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Oh.
maybe for my podcast, I get it. But you have to understand, at Central Casting, the photo they take of you is like a driver's license photo. It's literally like tits up.
But see, didn't you have dreams when you first moved to Los Angeles? Okay, when you first, were you never delusional? Okay, like because there's delusional people.
I was delusional.
Right. So when we first moved to LA,
yes,
you're like, oh my God, maybe someone will see me and they'll upgrade me to a SAG speaking role. That kind of shit.
That did happen to people I knew, and I got upgraded. I got upgraded on a commercial shoot.
Well, there you go, and
Yeah.
that you made like 10 grand, right?
I made a lot more money.
Yeah. There you go. So
But it
dreams
wasn't-
do come true.
Okay, but like what I'm saying is, in this cattle call line at Central Casting where everyone's having a photo taken, it was just funny that this guy was doing bicep curls. That's all I'm saying. But you're right. I guess dreams.
You know, delusions are,
I did get upgraded on an Axe commercial. I was so lucky.
You made a lot of money, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be an extra,
jealous.
which already paid well on that commercial because it was like, if you have to look good, they pay you a little more. That's true.
That's true.
You know, it's like if you're in a bikini or something, they're like, we'll pay you more because you're in a bikini.
Yeah.
But there was a stunt, and the girl that was supposed to do the stunt couldn't because she like twisted her ankle or something.
Uh-huh.
So they were like, does anyone know how to rock climb or climb this cliff? And I was like, fuck yeah, I got this. And they were like, how experienced are you? And I was like, I climbed Mount Fuji or some, I made up some bullshit.
You're so funny.
I counted,
You
I
would.
climbed Mount Temecula in the canyon of Idaho or like just some dumb bullshit.
Yeah.
They were like, great, all right. So they upgraded me to a SAG stunt performer for the
Awesome.
commercial. So I got a lot more money. So see, guys, lying in Hollywood is how you win.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You just gotta lie. I think there's some truth to that.
Well, I try not to lie, but when it comes to an audition,
Yeah,
like they always say you know how to do it.
I mean, literally, like they send you out for like, okay, must have like photo assisting experience for the role of the photo assistant for
That's
like
true.
shoot. I'm like, who has photo assistant? Have you ever been a photo assistant? Yeah, sure. I've held folders.
You're like,
you know,
my friend handed me his camera one time when he was going to pee, and I held on to it.
It's
I assisted
true.
him 100%.
you don't need to know that. They don't need to know you didn't get paid for it.
Also, though, like sometimes they send you out for shit and it's not your fault. Like I had a commercial agent for a while. I quit going out on commercial auditions because you set me up with that agent.
That's right, and you signed with her.
I signed with her, and then I seriously stopped going. And do you want to know why?
Why?
Because this is what she would do. She was like, so Kate, what sports are you good at? And I was like, well, growing up, I played basketball, soccer, I was on swim team. I played tons of sports. I can throw a football, I can surf a little, I can do whatever. Mm-hmm. So she would send me on auditions though, where they would ask for, like I went on a soccer audition. Mm-hmm. She's like, you have this audition, you need to bring your soccer ball, cleats, and shin guards. I'm like, bitch, I said I played soccer. I don't have, you think I have that shit? And she was like, oh, well, I told them you could play. I get there. Everyone there is clearly like either a college soccer player or like a professional, like everyone. And then I come in the room, they're like, where are your cleats? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot them at practice.
That's so funny.
And they were like, okay, we're going to need to see you dribble around these cones and juggle this ball. And I was like, yeah, sure. I did it. It was bad.
I love her. She does do that sometimes.
Yeah.
She does. She made me roller skate, and I've never been on wheel. I don't even know how to ride a bike.
Did she know you can't?
Yes.
So
but
what?
she was like, you can do this, Aiden. You can practice. She literally coached me. I called her back and I was like, for the most part, she's so good to me that I don't care.
She doesn't, who cares? No one knows who she is. We're not saying her name.
Yes, but like, I mean, she really is good to me.
Yeah,
like, she's like my sister.
Aww.
But sometimes she'll call me and she'll be like, okay, you can roller skate. And I'm like, I can't roller skate. And she's like, but you can. Do you have friends? Just practice for the day. You'll be fine.
Where the fuck are you even supposed to get roller skates? Did you go buy roller skates for this audition?
I just went.
You didn't take skates?
I didn't take skates.
Was it at least at a roller rink?
No, it was at the studio, and they asked me like, "Can you roller skate?" I was like, "Yeah." On the scale of 1 to 10, how good would you say you are? I was like 8.
This is my favorite though, is sometimes I will lie. Or like sometimes I do know how to do it. Like for instance, I can surf enough to stand up and ride a wave in. So if all they want is a basic, like someone who looks right, like running out with a board, trying to get up, like maybe get up once or twice. But then they'll go, so you'll say yes, and then they'll go, great, can you send us photos and videos of you surfing? Let me tell you how many times at the last minute I've had to stage some bullshit, like me out at the basketball court, like playing basketball against all these. Yeah, because they want video of you playing.
That's ridiculous.
But it's supposed to look like it's from a long time ago.
But here's the thing. When you book so I've booked jobs where like they said you need to do, but then like once you get on set, it's like you just standing there.
Oh yeah. Or they're like, this is my favorite, even when I was doing the extra work. Like they would go, we need extras to play bartenders. And then you call in and go, I can do that. And they would go, have you ever been a bartender? Do you know how to make drinks? And I'm like, do I really, to be an extra, a bartender who doesn't even have a line, I really need to know how to make a fucking Long Island iced tea or like an old fashioned. Like, does it really matter? So I would just always say yes. Have you ever said yes though, and then you got into a situation where you got booked and then you had to figure out how?
You know what? I've never had that happen.
Really? That happened to me one time.
Really? What happened?
Well, when I was in college, I had to take a circus performance class. So random. Oh. Yeah, because I was a theater major. So of course one of the arts was circus arts, which I actually learned to juggle and stilt walk. So,
you know how to stilt walk?
Well, that's the thing. I did in college. so they needed stilt walkers. So I said I could. And then they hired me. And I actually even had like photos of me on stilts from college. So I was like, oh yeah, here I am stilt walking. Then I get there to work that day. It was in Venice. And they were like, where are your stilts? I was like, oh, those weren't my stilts. I thought you guys would be providing the stilts. And they were like, well, we have some.
Oh no. Oh, Kate.
The ones they had were not the kind that I used, like, definitely were like safety stilts or something. Like they weren't just real, like they had like little clown feet, whatever.
She was like, it was like real stilts. So what'd you do?
I was like, I have a migraine. I don't think this is probably, these stilts don't really fit. I said, these stilts don't really fit. I was like, how far do I have to walk in the stilts? And they were like, we need you to walk at least 5 or 6 feet in the stilts, like through the shot. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I really should have brought my own stilts. You should probably get someone else. And I left. I was young.
Was this extra?
I was an extra.
Oh, well then whatever.
I was a stilt walking extra though. It was good money. It was like, back then it was like $250 a day. But I'm like $250 to risk ruining my face and breaking a bone. I don't think that's.
Yeah, no. Good call on the migraine.
I'm glad that we talked about all this Hollywood show business shit on.
No, I'm sure it's fascinating to, I don't know. Is it fascinating? I don't know.
I think it's interesting because, I mean, I remember thinking it was really glamorous being an extra when I first moved here and how lucky I felt to be able to do it for the first few times.
Yeah.
And then
you get over it.
But there are people that are professional full-time extras that are like passionate.
Oh my God, passionate.
Right?
Passionate.
Like you'll meet these people that they're like, oh, did you work on Charlie Wilson's War? I was like, especially when they're union. They feel like they're so special when they're union extras. And you're like, that just means you've been doing this forever, long enough to where you finally got like the way you've become union is like the people at home. The
most exciting thing about doing the extra work was, okay, this was in 08, 09.
Okay.
And I remember like Flavor of Love was real hot at the time. And I did, and I was obsessed with that show. Of course I would be.
Of course.
And it's like a dating show with Flavor Flav. I don't know if anybody knows it now. Yeah. But when I did extra work, the contestants from Flavor of Love would be there with me, and I freaked. I was like, oh my God.
They were doing extra
work?
You're
hottie. And they were doing extra work. I was like, you're hottie from Flavor of Love.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm serious. I just died.
Would?
I met Red Oyster. I met Hottie.
These people are.
Yeah, I met Rain. It's not their real names. It's like their contestant. I mean, I was obsessed. So like,
oh really? Red Oyster isn't someone's God-given birth name.
She was the Asian contestant. Oh my God, I was so obsessed. I loved it.
Have you ever been on a dating show?
No.
Okay, so just for the people at home, Aiden is gay. And gay
just in case you couldn't tell.
In case you couldn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
And we met actually through comedy. I'm trying to remember how I met you
At
initially.
Karma Lounge, and I inadvertently insulted you, and I still feel bad about it.
I don't even remember.
Oh my God, Kate! I didn't.
I doubt
I was
it.
just like kind of like. Okay, so I was hanging out with everybody.
Okay.
And you were like, you were talking about like, oh, like my boobs are fake, you know, my huge breasts or something like that.
I never said my huge breasts.
You never said something.
But my bit about the lazy boob, the drifter boob or whatever.
Something about like big boobs. Something about. You didn't say my huge breast. You didn't say it like that. It was more like conversation. It was more like, oh yeah, girl with big boobs. There's something like an offhanded comment or something.
Okay.
And I said, because I don't notice boobs at all on girl. I just don't notice anything on
You're
girls.
gay.
Yeah, I'm very gay. I'm like so gay. I don't notice women at all. So I was talking to her and she was like, oh yeah, my big boobs. And I was like, oh, are those big? And then afterwards, but you didn't react. And then I thought about it. I was like, that's really insulting. And then so I was like, oh my God, Kate, I'm so sorry. And you were like, oh, I don't give a shit. And then we became friends.
Yeah, because it's weird because I don't know. I don't remember this story and I don't remember what I said. But I do remember always saying that even though my boobs are fake, they're not big. They're like smaller than you would think they would be big. But
it wasn't on stage.
Knows?
It was like just a conversation.
Yeah, who knows what I said. But what's funny is I do remember something about you being like, I'm so sorry I said that. And forever me being like, I don't give a fuck. I do remember
Yeah, that's
that.
right. That was your response.
Yeah, and then
You're
we
like,
became friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which I needed because when I was in Chicago, I had like my gay boyfriends. And then I moved to LA and I had none. And I really was like,
now
oh,
you have
yay.
some, right?
Gay boyfriends?
Yeah.
Not a lot besides
Really?
you. Not as many. I mean, a few, but you're like the only one that I really like talk. Like I tell you shit that's like incriminating that I can't tell people.
Okay, great. That's a good start. So we'll get some information out of Kate today.
Yeah, but like Aiden has been one of those people that I feel like whenever we do gigs together, comedy gigs, we always end up doing gigs that are far away and we have to be in the car and we end up like spilling each other's life stories.
Right.
Which is so great because he's given me so much good dating advice. And he's like that
I give
bad
advice.
bitch gay guy.
Am I a bad bitch?
Yeah, you're that guy that's like, oh no, girl, fuck that. You ain't doing it. Like you are. You
It's
totally
true.
are. Yeah,
I do give advice.
which I need.
I get a bunch of teenagers sending me Instagram messages all the time. Like, what do I do?
Really?
What do I do? I'm not out to my parents. What do I do? I'm dating this girl, but this girl doesn't like me. What do I do? I get like messages.
Okay, I have so many questions. All right, let's just start right there.
Okay.
So that's really cool actually because you can be like, you can help, you have a voice and you're very funny on stage and you can like help these young kids though that don't know how to come out or aren't sure what to do.
Yeah.
But I want to know your story. So first of all, you say you don't notice women, which is hilarious because a lot of gay guys do like women, like boobs and like makeup and like are into beautiful women, not in a sexual way, but you know what I mean? Like they just.
Yeah.
But you have never been
Glamour.
struck me that way at all. So were you always not into women? Were you ever with a woman?
No.
Never.
I've never seen a vagina.
Shut up. In real life or
I've
in
never
a photo?
You know, sometimes this is my thing. When I watch porn, sometimes like stuff will pop up on the side scroll with vaginas, but there's usually a dick in it or a girl has something in it, and I'm like, oh.
That's weird that they advertise straight porn on the gay site.
They advertise gay porn when you watch straight porn sometimes, don't they?
I don't know. I never noticed.
Do you
the
watch
pop
porn?
Up. Yeah, but I don't think I've ever seen two guys fucking on there. No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
Lesbian porn, like girls hooking up, but I
Okay.
mean that could also be considered straight porn.
I guess it's a market thing. I don't know why that happens, but it happens to me.
Okay, so
So-
that's the only time you've seen vagina?
I've never seen a vagina.
That's insane.
It's not insane, not for me.
I guess it's normal. So, okay, wait, where did you grow up?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I
you
moved here when I was 9 from Korea. And I lived in San Francisco.
with your parents?
No, because my dad. Okay, so my crazy story. My dad had a whole other family. You know this, don't you?
I don't know.
My dad had a whole other family, and married my mom, and said he worked out of the country. When he worked out of the country, he went with that other family and lived with them.
Wait, so your mom was American?
No, my mom's Korean.
So your mom was in Korea?
Yeah, this all happened in Korea.
So your dad met your mom, and your dad is Korean also?
Yes.
So your dad is from This all happened in Korea. So your
Right.
dad had 2 families in Korea, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Holy shit.
This was before social.
Social media. Oh, yeah. You could not get away with it. You could, but it's much harder.
Yeah, you
now.
couldn't.
Although people do. I do know guys that have 2 separate live situations.
You do?
Personally. I know one for sure, which is gross. But I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I know someone like that. But okay, so in Korea, your dad was keeping 2 separate homes?
Correct.
And neither woman knew?
Correct.
Did they ever find out?
Yes.
Oh my God, tell this story. This is
Well,
great.
when they found out, my mom took me and went somewhere.
How'd they find out?
Oh, this is
before social
juicy.
media.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. One thing. Wait, so you have brothers and sisters in your family, your mom. Did your dad and mom have more than one child, is what I'm asking, in your family? Like, do you have siblings?
No.
No
Not
siblings.
my mom. Yeah.
Okay.
But he had kids with the other family. So he told my mom that he was, I guess the other family knew, because he told my mom that he was bringing in like a college student who was like going to live in our spare room because he was going to like pay rent, like we need help with rent. So
the nerve of this guy.
he brought his son.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, he did.
Didn't his son call him dad?
I don't know. I was like 5.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wait a second. So what did he tell your mom whenever he was at the other family's house?
He was out of the country
Out of the country working.
Yes.
And then he would tell that other lady the same thing?
I don't know.
Your dad had a side I wonder if there was a third family.
He could have had a third family.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So then he brought this kid in. Why? What happened to the other woman?
I don't know.
You don't know anything?
I don't know anything. We don't talk about it.
Oh, so your mom left him when she found out?
So my mom left him when she found out.
And she found out because he brought the son, or how did she figure it out?
I don't know. Maybe she knew. We just didn't talk about it. But I know that he brought his son to live in the same house, paying rent in our apartment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he have his own bedroom? How many rooms?
He had his own bedroom.
Holy shit.
It was a 3-bedroom house.
How old? So he was college age and you were
He
like
was
5?
college age. I was like 5.
Wow. So you don't remember how your mom found out. You just remember they split up.
That's correct.
And then you and your mom moved to the U.S. alone together?
Right. When I was 9, we moved here. And then my mom found a boyfriend in Boston and went with him. So I was raised by my grandmother, who was working as a kitchen helper for $5.75 an hour. And we were in like the ghetto. But this was before San Francisco was anything.
Wait, so your grandma already lived here? She moved here with you?
My grandma was already living here.
She was already in the States?
Yeah.
That's interesting that your grandma moved to the U.S. and your mom was still in Korea.
Yeah.
When did your grandma move to? This is just fascinating to me.
She moved here in 92 because my mom's sister moved here in 80s.
Okay.
And they sponsored the grandma, right?
Yeah.
And so I lived with her.
Wow.
And then she got government housing. And so then I lived with her in government housing.
In the hood.
In the hood.
Oh.
I lived in the Fillmore before it became the Fillmore. It was the Mo. They called it the Mo.
No.
Yeah, the Mo. And I was friends with all the homeless people. You know, they were like, "Hey, baby, how you doing? Here's 50 cents. Oh, thank you, baby. How you doing?"
No way.
Yeah, I love them. Michelle and Terrell.
Aw.
They're great. I still see them.
Did your
and
grandma?
There's a blind guy.
Of course, yeah. There's usually one.
I mean, but I don't know if he's technically blind. I think he's a little cross-eyed. Anyway, you'll see him if you go to Fillmore and like post and you walk around. There's a Burger King there and the Kabuki Theater. If you walk around enough, you will see a guy who's bald, a little cross-eyed, and about 5'8". He's black, and he'll be like, "You got money?" Like I think it's an act though, because I caught him.
You think the cross-eyed is fake?
Yes, because I think yes.
That'd be so hard to keep up.
One time I didn't have money. He was so nice. One time I didn't have money, and this was like 5 years in of knowing him. One time I didn't have money, and then I walked away and I forgot something, and I turned around to go, and he was like, "Stupid motherfucker," and I was like, "Oh, he's putting on an act."
What? Well, him calling you stupid motherfucker.
He was like normal. He was like, "Oh, you motherfucker."
Oh, and before that, what was he like before that? Speaking
he was so sweet. He was like, "Can I get money?" Oh my God, are we gonna get
wait,
social justice?
Are you saying that he was blind and slow? Because when you just
That's
did that voice,
what
you were
he
slow.
was putting
okay,
on,
I
I think. And then all of a sudden I turn around and he knows all this vocabulary, a stupid motherfucker. I'm like, what?
Maybe he had Tourette's. Or like, maybe it was...
Whatever.
I know what you mean, though.
But give him money, because at the time I was mad at him, so I didn't give him money. But now that I think about it, like, if you have to put on an act like that, and I've known him since 94, so...
You know...
That's like 20-something years. And he's still there.
Wow.
And Black Don't Crack, he looks exactly the same.
He looks fantastic. He
looks
younger
fantastic
than us. You know what's funny about that is when I was in Salt Lake City with Joey Diaz a few weeks ago, we were standing outside. I think we were smoking a joint outside the comedy club. And this dude walked by, and he was homeless, but he was kind of cute homeless. He wasn't like, I mean, he was like my age, and he looked like kind of like a surfer. He looked like a guy that probably just like was into living in his van type.
Right.
And
then, the nomads, they're so hot.
Right. And then he ended up maybe living on a street. I don't know.
Right.
But the point is, he was walking by. It was so embarrassing, actually, because of course he's walking by and he stopped and hit on me. He was like, hey, you're beautiful. Maybe we can hang sometime, whatever. And I was like, oh, I think I'm okay. You know, and then of course Joey's like, yeah, Kate, give this guy your number. Show this guy a good night. Turn him into a fucking savage. Da-da-da. And I was like, no, I'm good. And the guy walked away. And Joey was like, see what you attract? And I was like, yeah, tell me about it. But then what was weird is when the guy came up, he was completely normal. He was only maybe 10 feet down the sidewalk. And he started talking to invisible people. He was clearly schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And then he started yelling at invisible people. And then, but it was so bizarre because when he came by, he seemed like so normal. You're beautiful. Maybe we could hang sometime. And as he was walking away and Joey was like, see what you attract? I was thinking in my head, he's not that bad. Maybe I should have just like, he might be interesting. And then he started talking to invisible people. And I was like, oh, of course.
Isn't that a problem?
Well, it was
when you're dating, isn't that a problem? They seem so nice and normal, and then they're crazy. And I'm new in the so I like dick a lot.
Aiden likes dick a lot.
Yeah, so I can't not fuck people. So I mean, about 2 months after Michael,
we have to talk about this. Okay,
God,
so we're gonna get into this right now. So. Oh, I feel weird even talking about this. Okay.
You can do it. You can do it.
All right, guys. So I've known Aiden for. I don't want to. I'm afraid that I'm going to get emotional. I don't want you to. I don't want to. All right.
You can get emotional.
But okay, we both can get emotional. It's real. It's a podcast.
Yeah, it's real.
Okay, so I've known Aiden for years, and when I met him, he had this boyfriend, wonderful husband, boyfriend. Were you guys married?
Boyfriend.
Okay. Well, you might as well be married. They live together.
And we live together.
They live together. I loved him. His name is Michael, and every time we would all go out, I was like, God, he's so perfect. He adored you so much.
I loved him. Yeah, he loved me. We loved each other so intensely.
Yes. And I actually talked about you on here one time. Not Michael, but just, I didn't say who you were, but I said, I think I was talking about anal and not eating. And I basically said, I have these gay friends who, like, whenever we hang out, Aiden will be like, we're not eating tomorrow because Sunday is our anal day. Like Aiden would say, like, once a month or once every so often we just get a room and we have anal all day, but we plan it ahead, so like we won't eat or whatever you said. I forget how you said it.
Absolutely.
And I was like,
I would recommend, look, guys and girls, whoever you are, if you're gonna do anal, you got a plan. And if you don't douche, you're not doing it right. Because if
you have to
You're
douche
just not
your butt.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I don't douche, but well, listen. First of all, I don't.
Do you anal?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not doing anal anymore with guys that aren't my boyfriend. I only did it once, and Joey was like, "He'll never take you to dinner again," and he never took me to dinner again. So I haven't done it since. But I'm into some butt stuff, you know. But like, I'm like, if I think I might hook up, I'm obsessive about cleaning out my butthole.
You gotta douche.
Obsessive.
Yeah. You gotta do it. Yep.
But I don't douche.
You have to douche.
I clean it.
Absolutely.
What are you gonna
do? Wipe a napkin?
I get in there.
How?
I scrub in there deep.
You don't scrub.
I do.
You're gonna scrub?
I exfoliate the inside of my asshole.
Oh, you're gonna exfoliate the outside of your shit that's sitting right there. Is what's going on.
I make sure I keep doing it until I can smell my finger and it smells like the soap.
Unacceptable.
No, it's not. But I also like I
just buy a freaking enema at the CVS.
I have a ball for that, but I use it on my ears.
Whatever hole fits, I guess.
But I don't
You
like
have
guys.
to do it.
Okay.
Kate, it's unacceptable.
Well, I drink the calming powder that makes you shit. Like I drink the stuff they give you for a colonoscopy all the time.
Not enough.
My shithole is so clean, Aiden.
Look, it can come out, but there's residue. You got to get it all out.
But that's if you're getting fucked in the butt. I'm talking about a little finger action.
I don't care what it is.
There's
if
no
there's
poop.
anything going in there.
Guys say mine tastes like Skittles.
Well, that's straight guys' low standards right there.
No, it isn't.
Kate.
Fine. We're going back to your. Okay. So anyway,
I'm very opinionated about this. Okay.
I love you so much.
Very opinionated.
Okay. Well, then tell fine. Then you know what? Tell it for the girls. So you have to get an enema ball, and you gotta fucking what's the process?
Do
Aiden?
it until you see clear water and you get absolutely no smell whatsoever, and then that's it. It might take you like 30 minutes, but you have to do it.
30 minutes?
Yep, 30 minutes to an hour.
What's the difference between that and scrubbing in there till you don't smell it on your fingers?
Because it might be just out of reach, and you gotta clean the whole
fine.
area out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, great. I'm making all your male listeners like turn off. By the
No,
way.
because the male listeners are like, yeah, which bitches did this?
You know
They
what I
want
mean,
it.
right, guys? Yeah.
Okay, so anyway. So I love Michael and Aiden, and whenever we go on our car trips, this is the shit that we talk about, literally. And then basically, I hadn't seen you in a while because as comedy goes, he's busy, I'm busy, I'm on the road, whatever. And then I see a post on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere, and it was basically like, hey guys, I haven't been posting much lately because I've been dealing with something with Michael had stage 4 what do you have?
Yeah,
cancer?
he had cancer. He had stage 4 lung cancer.
And you
that
found out
metastasized. Yeah.
And how long? And he ended up passing away, which is what you posted. But I had
Yeah.
no clue, and it was crazy because when I read it, I just started crying. I mean, he was such a fucking just awesome, amazing, sweet guy, and I just can't imagine. Like I wanted to like fly home and see you, and like I just figured you must be. I was like, how is he even functioning? Like, how long between when you found out and when he passed away?
I found out in March.
In March, and it's only August now. And,
Yeah.
and then
I found out.
He just passed away a month ago? How long ago has it been?
He found out. Early March. We found out he had lymph nodes that got big, and so we took him to the hospital. And then they found that it was positive for cancer. And then we, for like 3 months, like, were trying to do whatever, but it just developed so quickly. And at the end of May, he passed.
Did they tell you when he first went in and they found the cancer, did they know that it was going to be untreatable? Or that it was going to be...
This is what happened. The medical, I'm so angry at the medical... system, because we went in and then they were like, okay, well, he might have cancer. We think it's malignant, but we're not sure. So we'll get you scheduled with this it's a surgeon who's going to remove the lymph node for further investigation. You wait another week and a half or 2, and then you go to the surgeon, and then they go, oh, do you have an oncologist you're working with? No? Okay, then we better bounce you back to the oncologist before we move forward with the surgery. So we go back to the oncologist, and the oncologist goes, oh, well, we better bounce you back 2 weeks later to do the surgeon, and he's deteriorating.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like bounce. It's like, and they do shit like this. Like, it was those 2 months, March, April, May, were like, unspeakably. I mean, it was just everything kept getting worse.
Yeah.
It was like you go to the emergency room, and then they go, okay, we found the medication combination that works for him. He can get on oxycodone and Norco. So they send you home, right? Because he's in
so much pain.
So much pain. They send you home with these prescriptions. And first of all, Norco, oxycodone, because of the opioid crisis, they're not available everywhere. So I go to the first CVS and they're like, oh, we've used up all our allotted amount that we can give out for this, so we can't give you any. And we can't see if we have any until you take these handwritten prescriptions, in person to each pharmacy. So you end up going to 6 or 7 different pharmacies.
Oh my
and then
God.
when you get to the 7th, and by the way, the medication, like if you're released from the emergency room, you have like maybe an 8-hour window before you need your next medication. So you finally find a pharmacy.
Couldn't they fill the prescription at the hospital pharmacy?
No.
Why not?
Because some of them don't. And that's why I recommend if you get sick in LA, you have to go to the USC County Hospital, because I went to Huntington Hospital, which is beautiful and awesome, but they don't have their own pharmacy. Most hospitals don't have their own pharmacy.
Oh.
And so we were fucked. And we didn't know any of this. You don't think about this.
No.
So then you finally get to a 7th CVS, and they run insurance, and then they go, sorry, your insurance isn't accepted. We can file a claim, but that'll take 4 to 5 days. But these pills here are $1,200.
Holy fuck.
So then what do you do?
If you don't have any money, you're fucked.
So I put it on credit card.
Of course.
Of course, and get it. It was like that, like for...
How much money did you end up spending?
I ended up $15,000 in debt and personal. Like
I'm going to help you do a Kickstarter or pay it
we
off.
already did it.
You did it?
Yeah, we did it. And
Okay,
that's
good.
fine. I'm almost out because
Okay, good.
I'm crazy. So we got like $5,000 from GoFundMe, which is great, right?
Yeah.
And then right afterwards, I do political consulting where I help organize people for,
Yeah.
that's the quickest way for me to make money. And so I organized people to get signatures for stuff, and I went up to Seattle and it made like $10,000. So it was like, great, awesome. I'm almost done, out. So great. But it was like,
It makes me so mad.
it was so bad. It was
makes
so
me
bad.
so fucking mad because my mom has lupus, and it's obviously she's alive, okay, and she's getting treatment. But even for my mom, it's like so many of the drugs that they try, because lupus is incurable,
Yeah.
but there's all kinds of experimental stuff. But it's like, even if something is working, but it's not technically approved yet, it's still experimental. She can't get it covered. And it's just, there's times that you're like, this person's in pain.
Yeah.
They could get treatment, except here there's all these fucking hoops that you have to jump through and bullshit, and by the time she gets it, it's too late.
Yeah.
She hasn't been able to leave the house in a week, or sometimes it flares up and goes back down with lupus, so she's fortunate, but like for those flares, it's just it makes me, the whole medical
what's the
thing
worst?
makes me really upset.
So say we're lovers, Kate.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Okay, let's imagine. But
So
you're in the
I'm
hospital.
cleaning my colon out daily. I'm never allowed to eat.
That's right.
Okay.
I'm the bottom. Only I did that. Okay.
Oh,
Michael
okay,
Michael
okay.
never did it. But
Perfect.
okay, so say we're in the hospital,
Yeah.
and you are out, and you are like, I need pain meds. You're in so much pain. We call the nurse. The nurse comes and goes, oh, we've given you the allotted amount of
They can't give you more because they think you're an addict
so
or something.
we need to call the doctor. That takes an hour to sit there with your partner, holding his hand while he's crying in pain for an hour, waiting for this freaking and it just kept getting worse.
And
I just
also-
couldn't believe how bad it was getting. Like, it was like conversations like, hey, so the doctor says you have a 5% chance of survival. Would you like to continue to try to fight this, or do you want to go into comfort care where we just keep you comfortable until you die? Like, it was like those kinds of conversations.
Holy shit.
Shitty. It was
I'm so sorry.
bullshit.
I'm so sorry.
I was so mad. Anyway.
I'm
yeah.
so sorry that fuck it. I mean, obviously there's nothing you can say.
No.
What
are you gonna do?
I mean, and like for the people listening, this is kind of a sad topic, but also everybody's been through a loss.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I said to you when we were talking, I said, I have never lost a lover, but I went through a divorce, which I'm not saying it's the same, but I said, I know for me that when I first got my divorce, part of the way my ex handled it, which was on a therapist's recommendation, which is totally fine, is that for some length of time, he just cut me off, which was hard because when we first split up, we would still we were together so long, we'd still kind of talk. I'd still call him when I was upset. Yeah. And at some point he was like, I need a cold break to get through this. And when he cut me off, that's when I was really like, oh, fuck. It was like losing someone that I'd gotten so used to talking to every day.
Yeah.
And I said to you, I can't imagine what it would be like, because I know how hard that was for me and what I was doing to get through it and how much I was partying and then, you know, you and I, what was amazing is that you started making jokes And you said, I've been writing about it and talking about it on stage. And I was like, God, that's fucking incredible that you're already turning it into material, but it's probably therapeutic.
He came to me, okay, I know this sounds crazy.
What?
But he came, I believe, he showed up in my dreams like 3 days in. And I believe
3 days into after
3
he
days
died?
after he passed.
Oh, wow.
He showed up, and I like to think that he was actually
there.
I like to think that because he said what he would. I know him, and he said what he would say. What he said was, you know, this was gnarly. He gave me a hug in the dream, and then he said, and he held my hand, and he was like, "Hey, baby, guess what? You know, no matter what you do, no matter how much you cry, I can't come back and do this for you in real life." And then I woke up and I rolled over and he wasn't there. And I'm like, you know what? He's fucking right. Like, no matter how I handle this, there's nothing. I can cry all day. I can do whatever. He's never gonna come back, and that's not gonna change. So basically, true. I feel like he was very much about like, okay, whatever, move along. Let's go.
Yeah, he was so supportive too.
He was not about schmaltz.
No, all he would have wanted for you is to make this into material and make this funny and like, God.
Just like go. Like he would have been like, look, you can't do this. Go. And he was like,
how was he at the end? Like, did he come to peace with it? Was he scared? Like, how was it?
You know what was great was we had several times where we thought it was the last hurrah. And so we had about 4 or 5 different times where we had like an hour block where we were like, okay, well, let's tell each other everything that we want to say, you know? And it was so moving, like how much he loved me all the way to the end. Like, I remember, I ended up spending my birthday in the hospital. It was like, April 5th is my birthday. And then April 8th, he went loopy because he was on too many medications. And
you were like, share.
Right. And so he got up, and in that loopy state, like the nurse was like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Do you know what today is? And he goes, it's his birthday. And I'm so sorry that you spent your birthday in the hospital. I wish that you didn't have to. And next year, I'm going to give you 2 birthdays, And I'm like, even in a state where he's like in so much pain and like.
He cared about you first. Aww. I'm gonna cry.
I don't know. I didn't think I was gonna cry because I was like, I thought I handled it all. You know what I mean?
Of course, you couldn't have handled it all yet. It's so new still, and it's okay. And it's okay because I mean, it's like you're a person, and he loved you. But
Tuesday, right? Tuesday Thomas.
Tuesday Thomas, yeah.
So Tuesday Thomas was in the hospital. She was really helpful during this whole process.
She's a female comedian.
Yeah. And she she helped me redecorate my apartment afterwards. And then she was like, hey, just so you know, like in one of my last conversations with Michael when we were alone, he knew he was going to go. And he said, Aiden's no good at this, like no good at redecorating. Please make sure that he gets his apartment decent. Please make sure that.
Shut up. Aw.
And I was like.
But you know what?
It's so stupid. Okay.
No, it's not stupid.
I mean, it's so stupid that I'm getting emotional about it all over again.
It's not stupid. It's only been 3, not even, what is that, 3 months? I can't do math. I'm a blonde. It's fine. No, but you know what I was going to say is the thing is some people go their whole life and they never have a love like you had. And that's what I think, even when I think back on like my ex and like, we shouldn't still be married, but I think how lucky I am that I had that kind of a love in my life. And you, like what you guys had, people look for their whole lives. And so it's like, it sucks that it ended, but like now it's almost like you have this platform where if I were you, I would start a podcast. I'm not kidding. I would start a podcast about starting over and dealing with losing someone, because so many people lose a lover, a son, a daughter, whatever it is before they're ready. And what's amazing about you is, like, that night that we were texting when I was texting him in, I think it was Minneapolis. I forget where I was, but I was telling him about some crazy shit that I pulled, and this guy that like said he was going to get a restraining order against me, and we were laughing, and I was sending him videos, and he was like, oh my God, this is way more interesting than talking about me being a widow. And we were laughing and joking, and I was just thinking how amazing it was that you were able to be so open and honest, but already be like laughing and making jokes about it. And just, it's so inspirational because you could wallow. Dude, I've gone through breakups, and you've seen it, where I fucking wallow in my apartment for weeks and just get high and smoke weed and get drunk and don't want to leave the house, and I lose. I feel like I would probably, my career would be 2 years further along if I hadn't spent so many months of my life grieving over dumb shit that wasn't even important. You have something real to grieve about, and you're like, I'm still going to come to your podcast. I almost didn't ask you because I was like, there's no way he's ready to talk about it on a podcast. And you were like, sorry, I'm snotting because I was crying. You're like, yeah, I'm down to talk about it. I'm already talking about it on stage.
Well, you know what? It's like this. I think a couple of things that really help is I think when I feel sad, I lean into it instead of backing away. So like if I feel bad, I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna pull out Michael and I had a secret Instagram, you know. And so we took photos of everywhere we went, you know, and I travel a lot, and we went everywhere together. Yeah. And so I just pull out that, and I just let myself have it for like an hour, you know.
That's great advice.
It just gets it out.
I do the same thing. I used to fight being sad. I used to fight crying. I used to try to put on music to make me happier. And I found the same thing. If you just let yourself have that hour, give yourself a certain amount of time. I've even done it before where I go, I'm going to let myself be sad today. Yeah. I'm going to take one day and shut down. But tomorrow I'm going to get up and be done with that.
Ugly cry. Just fucking, yeah.
It works.
It works.
Yeah, it really helps. That's great advice. And I listen to sad music.
Yeah, for sure. There's a show called Falsetto Land where this guy's lover dies of AIDS. It's a musical.
Sounds
and so
really
I listen to it
upbeat.
And I'm like, but like you do that, and also like Michael said, like I could sit at home all day and be sad, but nothing's gonna change about the fact. So I like make myself do
stuff.
I'm like, I never say no to any social outing.
Yep.
Like
I don't blame you.
I'm like, okay, get out.
Get out of the house.
I never say no.
You got to get out.
Because I don't think it just kind of happened. I think it's like you have to nudge yourself to be, and it makes me feel better. Like talking to you makes me feel better. Seeing you makes me feel better.
It's like people say happiness is a choice, and in some ways I believe that. Like I started doing something because I was depressed a little while back where I started writing down just each morning 5 things that I'm grateful for. I started doing it in like a journal app on my phone. And there's mornings I would forget, whatever, but most mornings I was doing it. And it's interesting because if you do start your day and you look for the things to be grateful for instead of, even if you're depressed, it helps. Yeah. Like, even if I'm sad about something, I can go, but I have XYZ. Yeah. Like I was talking on my last podcast about being just a little depressed. I've been so busy that I can't find time to see a lot of my friends. And then like yesterday, I mean, this is so small, but like, Joey Diaz tweeted something really sweet at me. And then Dom Herrera called me last night at 2:00 in the morning and was just telling me how much he loves me and stuff. And it was like, it's almost like the universe knows when you need a pick-me-up. Yeah. And it will give it to you, but you have to be open to going, oh, instead of being sad, how great is it that these 2 amazing people love me so much and we're there? And it's like you have to choose positive.
Right.
This is a TED Talk.
It's so true. But I'm fucking up a lot too. I'm doing a lot. I'm fucking up. I'm not perfect. I'm fucking up a lot.
I mean,
so
well,
I'm hooking up with too many boys. I'm partying too much.
Now let's talk about that. Okay, so
is this date fails?
Let's talk about that. So okay, so then when I did text him, "How are you doing?" He was like, "Oh, I'm a hot mess. I'm fucking too many boys. I need to stop." And I was like, "Well, that's not bad as long as you're being safe, and maybe it's, that's your way of coping." But so now it's only been a few months.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, look, so this is what happened, Kate.
Okay,
this is what happened. Okay, so Michael died, and I was like, okay, so what I'm going to do now, Michael, and I talked to him.
Good.
What I got to do now, Michael, is find a way that I can be satisfied without you here, like after he came to me in the dream.
Yes.
All right, so you were my best friend. You're no longer here. I got to deepen my friendships with the friends that I already have.
Correct.
Great. We had, you helped me like organize everything. You were my planner, whatever. I got to find a way to fill all these holes that are left in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be active about it. But, and I for a good month, I was like, okay, whatever. And then afterward, I was like, you know what? The thing that I was having a hard time with was sex.
Of course.
I was like, fuck it, because I'm fucking, I'm Korean, I'm gay, and you know what I mean? It's just, we're like fiery. And so I'm like,
I didn't know the Korean thing was part of that.
I yelled at him in the car. I was like, you fucking left me here with all this goddamn debt. You left me here. You're dead now. And, you left the gaping hole in my life. You motherfucker. And now I don't have sex. You better find me a fucking nice guy to have fucking sex with. Because that it's going to be like kind of, I mean, I don't want you, but like somebody like at least decent. You better help me find this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, because you would always say that Michael was the guy that was so sweet to you and treated you like he was like Prince Charming, but he would actually like be dirty and choke
horrible.
You. And he was like horrible.
He was awful.
He's the perfect guy.
He was the perfect guy.
He was sweet and treated you like garbage in bed. That's what I want so bad.
And this guy showed up.
Shut up. Where?
Okay, so.
I love that you fight with Michael, by the way, after he's gone. You're like still fighting.
Oh my God, the medium. Oh, I have to tell you about the medium. Oh
my
shit.
God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Okay. Wait. Remind me
Finish
about the medium
story
later.
first.
Okay, so then I went online and I found this guy who wanted to meet me. And I was like, I don't know if I should meet him. And I was driving. I'm going to sound crazy to all your listeners and to you. So I'm already crazy. All right, good.
I think we've established that.
So I'm driving. And I was like, Michael, I don't know. I might not meet this guy. I'm going to cancel. And then the GPS comes on. And I swear to God, it says, continue straight. And I'm like, oh, whatever. That's bullshit. I'm like, oh, that's like woo-woo, but that's bullshit. And then again, it says, continue straight. And then I'm like, whatever, Michael. And then again, third time, continue straight. I was like, all right, cool. So I meet this guy. Really nice guy who's awful in bed.
No way.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I've been talking to this guy.
Wait, did you hook up with him first night?
Yeah, of course. That's what gay people do.
Oh. I didn't know.
Fuck, of course. We have sex first. I have sex first.
That's
because
what
I'm
gay
like,
people do.
Look, listen. If we don't have sexual chemistry, you're gone. Like, I don't need to date you. I have enough friends.
But what if he thinks you're a whore? And he won't
even better.
Okay.
Even fucking better.
Okay, right.
Great.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm so sorry that you straight people have to deal with this whole dating thing and you don't want them to think you're a whore or whatever. I want them to think I'm a whore.
What?
It's fucking great.
Why?
Because it's hot.
Okay.
Fuck, whatever. Okay, anyway, what did I talk about? Yeah, so this guy.
You found one. Are you still talking to this guy?
Yeah.
Is this the guy that you were going to go on the trip with? You told me I'm thinking of going on a trip, but it's too
I don't know
soon.
how much. I don't.
You don't want to say too much about him. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he's a.
You don't think he
listener
listens to
podcasts.
Date Fails, the podcast about which you're the first gay guy that's ever come on.
Really?
I think so. I've been wanting to have a gay guy on forever, and then it just worked out perfectly that I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen Aiden in so long. I want to catch up with him. Plus, he has this amazing story. Like I just knew.
And
this
his
would be
boyfriend
riveting.
died. Bring him on.
Well, that was the amazing story. Yeah. Not that it's an amazing story. I'm not like exploiting you for that, but I mean, like I actually did want to see you since it happened too.
Yeah.
So it worked out.
But like everybody should text me for advice because I just give dating advice.
I should have you as an occasional co-host, and we should take calls because you do
absolutely.
give really good advice. I would love that.
Excellent advice.
He does, especially to me.
Never, ever have I led one of my girls and guys down the wrong path. I'm like, and then if they don't listen to me, I'm like, I told you.
Which we all love. I told you. You know what? We're almost out of time, but you know what I do want?
Yeah.
So before we run out of time, why don't you tell me quickly what happened with the medium?
Shit. Okay, the medium. Okay, so when someone dies in Los Angeles, people just buy you a session with a medium here in Los Angeles. That's just what they do. I got
Really?
three different, yes.
Shut up. I've never gotten that. I've had friends die.
Well, I mean, your boy,
Okay, well,
someone
that's
like,
a little
oh my
different.
God.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So I was talking to a medium and I'm at like a hotel lobby, and I'm on this phone with the medium.
You do it over the phone?
You do it over the phone.
Not even a crystal ball?
I mean, you just give them your name or whatever. And you sit, and I was there with my
They're
friend.
probably just Googling you and reading shit.
You know what? Maybe. I don't, that's very possible.
I could be a medium.
But I lost my shit because the medium was like, he says he loves you very much, but he wonders if you really loved him because you had a lot of drama in your relationship, and without the drama, is it real love? Or something, some shit like that. And I was at the hotel lobby and I lost it. I was like, you fucking motherfucker. Did you fucking ask me that fucking question? Because let me tell you right now, after all I did for you the last 3 fucking months, you get to sit on your goddamn cloud after you die. You get to fucking make calls like that. You fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, you asshole. And like everybody at the hotel lobby is like, zoop. And then my friend's like, are you sure you want to talk to your dead boyfriend like that? I'm like, just because you're dead doesn't make you right, you dick. You leave me here with all this debt. You leave me here with no dick. You leave me here, totally alone. And you get to sit up there and wonder if I fucking love you? Go fuck yourself. And then the medium said,
Jesus Christ.
I lost it.
Yeah,
this was like 3 weeks in.
Yeah, no, I've been there.
And then the medium was like, well, first of all, that's not what he meant. And then he goes, and secondly, he says he can't go fuck himself because fucking is a human privilege. And then I knew
that sounds so like something
that's Michael. That's fucking Michael. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
You dick.
Maybe your phone medium was real.
But my friend said she wasn't because if she knew who she was talking to, me, she would have known not to say that. Like you want me to say that to who? No, you have to find your own way of communicating to Aiden because I'm not fucking saying that to that guy. You're fucking crazy.
She knew you.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Aiden.
Not crazy.
I'm so bummed that we're running out of time because there's like, I could talk to you forever.
We'll do it again.
I'm going to have you back on.
Woo woo.
Before we go, first of all, where can the people find you?
Aiden Park Show. AIDAN Park Show.
Yes.
Send me your DM me your questions. I literally answer questions all day. Oh my God, my arm wiggled.
Oh, stop it. Don't talk about arm waddle.
DM me your questions. I answer questions via story.
Well, and also I'll have you come over and we'll do another episode where we do a Q&A. That would be really fun.
That'd be fun.
And then there's one question I ask everyone on here, which you have to answer, which is like your worst date fail ever or worst sex story or just something that went horribly wrong with some guy.
Kate.
Tell one.
Are you serious?
Do you not have any?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go.
Okay, because I ended up... Okay, so I've been making some bad choices. Don't yell.
Don't yell into the mic. My poor producer's going to be deaf.
I'm so sorry. I've been yelling the whole time. Are you okay?
No, she's fine. Tell the story. She's fine.
Okay, so I ended up with this guy who actually about a month and a half, and he was like,
you can talk. You don't have to whisper.
He was like, you know what, Aiden? Like, I told him, I was like, I'm sleeping with these guys, and it's not great, and I'm like not happy. And he goes like, why don't we try to hook up? And then it'll be safer or something like that. And so I do, and I end up in a 4-way situation. This just recently happened.
Wait a second. I'm sorry. I missed the beginning. I was distracted. Wait, you met a guy. You just
I've known him for years.
Oh, and you're saying I've been hooking up with all these. What did you say to him? I'm confused.
I told him, I was like, I said, I have been making some poor choices. Sometimes, I hook up with too many guys. And so I'm like, I've been hooking up with too many guys. I don't think I'm making the right choices. And then he was like, well, maybe you should hook up with people because it's maybe nicer and safer that way. And so I said, okay.
I love that
like
his
an
answer,
idiot.
like you're like, I've been hooking up with too many guys. It's such a guy's way of getting in your pants. And he's like, the answer. You should hook up with me.
Is it?
Like it's totally,
is that what guys do?
Are you kidding? Like if I said to one of my guy friends, like I've been hooking up with all the wrong guys, I just don't know what to do. He'd be like, why don't you fuck me? Of course.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't know that. And he was straight for most of his life until recently.
I doubt
So I
that.
guess he's using he's using that tactic.
He's using straight guy tactic.
I didn't know this. Okay. And I ended up hooking up with him. I ended up in a 4-way situation.
How did that happen?
We don't have time.
Okay, all right, fine.
So,
can you give the basics? How do you end up with 4 people? Give the basics. Is there a Cliff Notes version you can tell?
He takes me to a bathhouse.
Oh, that makes sense then. That's all we really need to know.
Yeah.
He takes you to a bathhouse, and
then we end up in some other guy's house where we're in a 4-way and we're switching partners, and my guy falls asleep. It's like 4 a.m. and he is going at this other guy, and I let him because I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be impolite and disrupt their fun. But it goes on for like 2 hours. So then afterwards, I was like, hey, listen, like, can we leave? Because I'm just sitting here because this guy fell asleep. And he goes,
your guy fell asleep?
No, yeah, when we switched. Right.
During?
Yeah.
During?
It was like 4 a.m.
But were you fucking when he fell asleep?
No, we were just like laying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was having a lot more fun with his partner than I was. So then I was like, hey, can we go? And he goes like, oh, are you getting all fucking jealous now? Like, are you getting like needy? And I was like, whoa. I'd never seen anything like that where people just like take off their mask and they just become like
instantly
completely
mean. Yeah.
So mean. And then when we get home, he was like, you are acting real needy there, Aiden. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, was I? He was like, yeah, and you were rude to that other guy. And I was like, I was? And then like gaslighting, kind of.
This is the part of threesomes they don't tell you about,
Terrible.
Which is at some point in the threesome, if it goes on too long, someone gets bored.
Yeah.
Like the only time I had 2 threesomes, but one of them, it was like so amazing for a while. It was great. But then at one point I was like, okay, it's been a couple hours. I came many times. I kind of just want to get on Twitter now. I just kind of checked out, but they were still going. And you're like, at what point is it rude to like kind of sneak out of the room or be texting? Like, you don't want to be
stuck there, Kate.
Oh my God, you know what I did? I sat in the corner on my phone kind of texting, and every once in a while I'd be like, ooh, that's hot. So, wow. Well, that's a pretty good date fail.
That's a fail.
It's a real fail.
And then I felt bad, because I think Michael would have been disappointed.
Why?
Well, because that was a fail.
Well, you know what?
I was making poor choices. I'm not perfect. Whatever.
You're medicating right now through fucking guys, but you seem to be doing pretty well.
I'm
for
all
the
right.
most
I'm
part.
doing okay.
You're doing okay.
I'm coming too. I'm getting better about it.
I'm gonna keep having you on so
I love
we can
you.
get updates. I'm still holding this Kleenex. You made me cry. You're the first person to make me cry on the podcast. Guys, listen. This has been Date Fails. This was a very heartwarming episode until the end, where we got into the orgy story. Only gay guys date fails, and then I fucked 4 dudes in one night like that. I never hear that when I have on anybody.
Really?
Any straight girls, no, or straight guys. They wish. They wish they could be like, my night ended in a 4-way fuck fest. Like that's every guy's dream. So guys, please follow Aiden Park. And what else? Let's see, this comes out next week. I'm coming to Laugh Boston at the end of August. Also, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/KateQFunny, because I've been posting stand-up comedy clips. So if you can't make it to a show and you want to see like a 15-minute clip, I'm putting them up there. Sometimes I put bombing jokes, which is actually really fun. Like when you do a new joke and it doesn't work, I'm like, you guys can have this. So check that out. And make sure, I want to plug something you're doing, but so what are you doing besides, you're doing comedy still, right?
Yeah,
Stand up all the time?
August 21st, Rainbow Pop at the Laugh Factory.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh. Okay, so check out Aiden at the Laugh Factory. And you guys, I love you. This has been Date Fails. Send me your questions to datefailspod@gmail.com, and I'll talk to you soon.
Woo woo. Bye.
Woo.